Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your
Gonna be a good one, just wait and see.
Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by Wirestock, which is still the easiest way to sell your photos, videos, and vectors online. Now, here's how it works once again. You upload your photos or videos to Wirestock, they tag and keyword them for you, and then distribute them for sale on the largest stock websites like Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, 123RF, Pond5, and many more. You can do all this from one single free account, no subscription fees or flat fees. When you sell something, Wirestock takes 15% and gives you the rest. Now, I've been saying it for months. You could be making money from video clips you already have, or you could go out and shoot random clips like crayons, noses, sheets, like bed sheets messed up, anything really. To sign up for free right now, head on over to bit.ly/wirefro22. First up is a follow-up from last week's story about Canon pulling firmware 1.2.0 for the R3. They have now put out 1.2.1, fixing the issue that 1.2.0 had. Now, Canon never officially told us what the issue was, though the forums did get it right. It turns out that after installing the new firmware and factory resetting the camera, some shooting settings were not retained. Now, I was surprised at the speed that Canon was able to get a tested and fixed firmware back onto the market. I haven't updated to 1.2.1, but will be doing so soon. I do suggest to the other 23 R3 owners in the world to update to 1.2.1 now so you don't run into any issues. Hey Canon, try to get it right next time without having to recall a firmware. Next up, let's talk Instagram once again. Last week, we reported on the head of Instagram defending the app's decision to become more and more focused on video, aka TikTok, while saying photography will always be a part of Instagram, but the future is video. Well, this week, it looks like Adam Mosseri and Instagram have walked back some of the changes. Now, before some of you say, "I told you so," and that petitions do work, and I was wrong, I don't buy it. Yes, Instagram got a lot of backlash last week, and it's sometimes a good business practice to say, "I screwed up. I'm sorry." But in my opinion, the push towards the TikTokification of Instagram will continue to move forward. Now, here's what Adam had to say. "I'm glad we took a risk. If we're not failing every once in a while, we're not thinking big enough or bold enough." That's some typical Silicon Valley bullshit.
Liquid shrimp. It's $200 a quart.
What he's referring to are the changes that rolled out to 2 to 3% of Instagram users, where they saw a new full screen experience and people absolutely hated it.
What do you mean, you people?
People, me included, also hate that we're getting way too many recommendations of new people to follow. Look, I don't want to follow some 12-year-old trying to dance. Stop recommending it to me. I didn't ask for it. I also don't want to follow the super religious photographer person who cut a cross into her teeth, so when then she smiles across at me.
This is a major turn on. Let's go with this.
Anyway, for now they say they're pulling back on those hated features, but in reality, this is just a stopgap until they figure it all out. We're going to discuss this further on this week's Raw Talk podcast that will be out Friday at midnight. And in the meantime, if you didn't know that Steven and I have a podcast, we do. Head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/podcast to check out the 9 episodes that you've missed. Next up, Tamron has announced the development of an almost one lens to rule them all for Sony E-mount, introducing the 50 to 400mm f4.5 to 6.3. Now keep in mind, this is just a development announcement, and even though Tamron says they expect to have it out in the fall of 2022, there's a good chance it will be delayed. Now, they didn't share a ton of info about the lens, but in reality, does anyone really care about how many lens elements it actually has, or what coatings are on the third element from the back?
Who cares?
Because I know that I don't. They did mention that the autofocus will be driven by voice coil extreme torque linear motors and have vibration compensation built in. Man, I love those extreme motors in my vibration compensation built in. So does my girlfriend. I actually don't have a girlfriend, so no, she doesn't. The 50 to 400 range will be pretty cool for most parents looking to get little Johnny cheerleading and Samantha kicking ass on the field. Now, I already requested a sample unit as soon as they have one available, as it will be fun to take this out to a Phillies or Union game to see how it does. Now, my guess, it will be fine and plenty good enough for the majority of people, but but not a pro's first choice of lens. Now, there's no word on price, but my best guess will be $12.99.
Have your pets spayed or neutered.
What's yours? Let me know down below. And finally, Nikon Rumors has posted a question for all of us, and it's this. Is this the Nikon Z8?
No.
They go on to say the Nikon Z8 camera pictured above is basically a Z9 without the vertical grip. It will have a 45.71 megapixel stack sensor and an Expeed 7 processor. This picture is coming from a random Twitter account. Yeah, that's what it said on Nikon Rumors. There's no way the Z8 will have the same stack sensor as the Z9, be in a smaller body, and be less expensive. It's wishful thinking, but there's no way this rumor is real. In fact, I don't think there will even be a Z8. The only way I could see there being a Z8 is if Nikon changes their naming scheme and not go with the Z7 III. Now, I honestly have no idea what Nikon is cooking up for the Z6 and Z7 replacements, but I'm sure whatever they're working on will have better autofocus and hopefully borrow a lot of the features and tech from the Z9.
Well, wishing one hand, the other one.
So what do you think the next Nikon Z camera will be? Let me know down below. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And that's where I'll leave it. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.